Hello everyone, I'm Ziwei, and there are 7 people in our group. They are Lakshesh, Yanan, Eugenie, Yipu, Mingying, Meng. First of all, Mingying will introduce the tasks. After that, Eugenie will talk about the think aloud, and Yanan will talk about the heuristic evaluation. Lastly, Lakshesh and Yipu will talk about the reflection and critique.
Our experiment covers various different aspects of a user goal, searching and navigating the ebook interface through the use of concrete tasks belonging to user sub goals like navigating to specific page numbers, navigating through annotation or comments, searching by keywords, navigating by bookmarks, and navigating to adjacent pages. The concrete tasks were designed to keep users in mind by making them clear, easy to understand, having a definitive starting and ending point, not leading the user, being easy to medium level of difficulty, and covering various unique aspects of the interface. Our background and demographic questionnaire gets relevant and vital information relating to our experiment from the participants before starting it. We ask for information like age group, their background, and the electronic device used usually for learning to know about problems faced by our target users. We also ask about the likeliness of accessing an ebook on a Likert scale of 5 to understand the participants' familiarity with an ebook and make inferences from it about the root cause of the problem they faced.
Hi guys, so I'm Ujjani and I'll be covering the Think Aloud part of this group. Starting with the table of performance, we can see that the tasks 2.1, 2.2, 3.1 and 4.1 were not completed successfully by one participant each. Moving on to the qualitative observations. Here we can see that the problems observed were firstly connecting the icons to its purpose, and one of the participants couldn't find the go-to page to enter the page number and search for it. There was also difficulties with finding the table of contents page. So the problems faced in these tasks were related to finding the chapter relevant to the keyword. Whenever they were inserting the keyword, and they could see that there was a blue bar, but they couldn't find the most relevant chapter. They had to scroll down to find the most relevant chapter related to it. And the most difficult thing that every participant faced here once at least was relating annotations to its bookmark. They didn't know that they could find the bookmark in the annotations icon. Moving on, the problem faced in this was related to the page not loading quickly, and one of the participants couldn't read the page number due to the bookmark covering it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jenny. After collecting the result of some expert, we have summarized some common advantage and drawbacks of this interface. For the main advantage of the interface, it was to mention the powerful functions. For example, the search function is really to find and use, help users to find the pages they wanted. Secondly, when users select specific text, the note, highlight, and bookmarks function bar will automatically pop up. The third one, ebook page provides zoom in and zoom out functions, so users don't miss the details. For the main drawback of the interface, first, the annotation toolbar doesn't show any text description which leads to the confusion and mistakes. In addition, the toolbar features are not categorized when it makes the use it's more inefficient. Lastly, the help tips for search function are not instructive enough, which makes the users recall rather than recognize. Next one is heuristic evaluation. In spite of the similar points that we find from the last section, we have found some more important problems that would be pointed. The first one is related to the visibility of the system as the status. When users are reading, the content menu does not highlight the current chapter. It would be better if we have a map to tell people where they currently are. The second two are less important, but they really commonly happen. First, there's no undo and redo button when users are deleting notes, because it might delete notes coincidentally. Second, it's difficult to read the white text from the cyan background. The third important problem group is about annotation. There's no search function that which makes the finding the specific nodes or bookmark harder, and that disorganized order makes recognizing recognizing the different annotation harder. The fourth important problem with the difficulties of finding the highest relevant content by searching function, because the result is not ordered by relevancy but the page. The above was a heuristic evaluation. Next, welcome Yipu to talk about our reflection.
Despite we identify many common problems, we found that in Think Aloud, we only discover usability problems when a user has difficulty completing a task. In heuristic evaluation, it's better at discovering general or subtle usability problems. For instance, all of our Think Aloud participants completed a task, delete the bookmark on page 360 without any issues, and therefore no one pointed out there's an error prevention problem. But we're able to identify these kind of problems in heuristic evaluation. The Think Aloud method is both quantitative and qualitative, while heuristic evaluation is mainly qualitative. For example, only 3 out of 7 participants were able to complete the task 2.1 without help. This data is objective and measurable, but P2 said task 1.2 is easy is clearly subjective. While in heuristic evaluation, severity ratings are subjective in nature. Experts may come up with different ratings, and discovering usability problems across the entire spectrum requires several experts working together.
We evaluated our experiment results on the basis of various aspects. In terms of how well the concrete tasks were designed, we found out that the set of tasks that we chose were frugal and effective as they provided us with good coverage and were likely to be performed by users. But we also found out that some of the tasks designed by us turned out to be pretty difficult, confusing, or misleading the participants, which we did not anticipate due to our extensive exposure to the interface. Our chosen participant demographic belonged to the target users of our interface, but we also realized that they all belonged to the same group age and had a similar background, which restricted our findings to these particular demographics. Through our Think Aloud experiments, we were able to identify the common functionality problems faced by most users, but we noticed that the participants were not actually verbalizing everything and got stuck in describing the actions at hand, which made this method less effective. Our heuristic evaluation experts belonged to different fields and had diverse backgrounds, which allowed us to identify various different problems. But we realized that the severity rating technique could have been more systemic as it was very relative and dependent on the perspective of the expert. Thank you.